AFM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Planet Fitness has everything you need from warm up to wind down, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to bring a friend anytime, access any of our 2,800 plus clubs, or reset and recover in the Black Card Spa, we're ready to fuel your momentum, and then some. Enjoy all the perks with the Planet Fitness Black Card. Join the club today for $1 down, $24.99 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends June 12th.
See club for details.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 7th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new Delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Koppel is proud to be the highest-rated GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln areas based on Google reviews. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on new Silverado and Sierra 1500 models. But hurry, this 0% financing offer won't last long. Visit us in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
At Schwezo Construction, safety isn't just a policy, it's a promise. Build with us. Work safe, go home proud. We're hiring skilled craftsmen, laborers, concrete workers, and steel erectors who value quality work and a team that has your back, on and off the job site. If you're ready to be part of a company where your safety and success come first, visit schwezo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com and apply today. Schwezo Construction, 40 years strong and still building the future.
Now's the time to lock in the best deal of the year on a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Sprayer Early Order Program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray. Target weeds with precision and cut herbicide use. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Don't forget, secure early order savings and get the sprayer that maximizes every pass. Visit your Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
When your business is ready for its next move, I'm here to help make it happen. I'm Corey Vandeweghe, Commercial Loan Officer at Midwest Bank on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Lincoln is full of bold ideas and hardworking business owners, and I'm proud to support the people driving that progress. Whether you're launching something new or investing in growth, I'll work with you to find lending solutions that move your business forward. Swing in anytime. I'd love to hear what you're building. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert, driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good. It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, welcome to this Win the Mind Wednesday. I tell you what, if you've been outside for less than, for at least a minute, you might want to go back in the house and shower because the humidity is unbelievable. Swim, okay. So I always come back from the gym after this.
Yes.
I was wondering, okay, obviously I had to shower because it smelled pretty bad after, working out.
Yeah.
But I'm walking out in the parking lot from where we work out at, and I just got Niagara Falls coming off the top of my head, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I keep a towel in my truck. So I'm dapping my head down and finally get it cooled off. And then I'm sitting at the stoplight, and the sweat is getting in my eyes because I'm still sweating like crazy, man.
Well, AD, you're wearing
Watch your mouth.
A quarter zip right now.
Well, I know. I didn't put this. I put this on.
Love the quarter zip,
you like
though.
It?
I love it.
I'm gonna get you one of these.
Man. I love the white.
I'm gonna get you one.
I'm serious. That is clean.
I appreciate it, man.
I really like that.
I didn't put this on until I got literally when I was walking in here. I got out the truck and I slipped it on.
How do you have it up on your neck though?
What's wrong with that?
Like the full zip. How do you have it on the full
it's
zip?
Just like Matt has his tie full.
I know. Well, he is. Unbelievably
right.
dapper.
That's right. I just want you to know I was born this way.
We're going to talk about the quarter zip in a minute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Folks, we got a great guest, a gentleman who I've known for over 20 years and who was really, he's not going to say it, but was really instrumental in me expanding what I do now, in particular in the financial sector and banking. Matt Williams, his family, his Flatwater Bank out there in Gothenburg. They've been out there for a number of years. Matt, along with Ron Arrigo, my father-in-law's brother, my uncle, not Uncle Jeff, my father-in-law Jeff, but George Beatty was the former president of Nebraska Bankers Association. These gentlemen literally entrusted me at a young age and very green behind the ears to address their companies, their teammates, and have continued to spread the word for me. Matt has done a litany of things since we've met. Matt Williams, brother, good morning to you.
Well, Aaron, it's great to be here. And by the way, you have never disappointed.
Well, I appreciate
it. With the trust that we placed in you. In fact, December 11th, 2004, you were a speaker at the Flatwater Bank Christmas party.
Remember that.
Over 20 years ago. And such a special time. you drove over from the hog farm.
Yep.
and you needed to shower that night too.
I was sitting here, Matt, I'm going to be honest. I was sitting here thinking, man, I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
AD was doing that, and I was 3 years old.
You know, Nick, some of us never get older.
Yeah, that's right.
We just get better.
I think we can all agree that AD looks the oldest in this room, right?
Well, at least I didn't have a towel draped over my head when I came to work.
That is right. That is right.
Matt, it is good to see you. All sincerity. I remember that night very well. You've created a great team back there in Gothenburg. You've done that many years, and now you've turned the reins over to them. You served in the Nebraska legislature for a number of years. Now you are the interim CEO at the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce. Again, I emphasize the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce. First of all, real quick background. You have a relationship with teammates, an affinity for sports. Your former runner ran for years like Forrest Gump. Now you kind of just doing the biking, a little less impact on the knees. Tell us real quickly where you grew up, how you got started in banking, and then we'll start from there.
You bet. Well, I was born and raised in Gothenburg, and my family was in banking. My great-grandfather started what was then Gothenburg National Bank in 1902. It was changed to a state charter in 2017, and so it was my great-grandfather, my grandfather, and then my father. And I had a pretty successful athletic career and enjoyed that, and accepted a scholarship to pole vault for the University of Nebraska.
Wow.
Came here and then went on to law school. And my wife and I were probably going somewhere else, but between my junior and senior years in law school, my father passed away. And I was the one in the family that was best suited to maybe come back and take over the banking operation. So I completed law school, passed the bar, and immediately didn't practice law. went directly into banking. So in 1974, I started my career in banking, and I was really surrounded by great people. And if there's ever something I've learned in life about leadership and all those things, is surround yourself by really competent, good people that cover up the things that you don't do well, that they can help compromise or complement you in those things. So I think that's, I was very fortunate. A few years later, I started doing volunteer work for the Nebraska Bankers Association and went through the chairs there. And certainly with your Uncle George was a great partner of mine and still a great friend. In fact, I'm having dinner with George and Billy this evening.
You tell Uncle G I said hello, and Aunt B I said hello.
I will. So I went through the chairs of the Nebraska Bankers and then became involved with the American Bankers Association and was fortunate to be elected to the board and became chairman of that board, only the second Nebraskan to ever chair the ABA. And it was during the economic crisis of 2008 and 2009 and following that. And really difficult times for banking. And again, when I finished that stint, there was an opening for legislature from my district. The former Senator John Whiteman was term limited. So he encouraged me to run. So I ran for the legislature and spent 8 years there. All during that time, I had a unique, close relationship with the Nebraska Chamber, serving on the board, recognizing the important work that they do. When Brian Sloan retired from that position, I was on the search committee. So I was involved with searching for the person that we hired. And a little over a year ago, we brought a person from Utah in. And sometimes the hiring process isn't perfect.
Right. Absolutely.
And we didn't have a good match. And when that unwound this past January, the search committee asked if I would, because of my experience with the legislature, the political arena, and knowing the business community, if I would just step in and take on that role as an interim position. And that's what I've done for the last 4 to 5 months. So,
Matt, I got to ask you, because when you were talking about being a part of the American Bankers Association and that time of 2008, 2009, and so on thereafter, walk us through the adversity that you guys as an entire group had to work through with that. And then what you learned, because now that was, goodness sakes, 16, 17 years ago, a lot of time has passed now since those days. What did you learn in those moments that then has now helped you in the last 17 years?
Well, if you remember those times when there was a pretty significant economic collapse, a lot of that was blamed on what would be defined as Wall Street banks, large international banking operations that were involved in a lot of commercial real estate lending, those kind of things. Not banks like we traditionally think of community banks in Nebraska. But the whole banking industry was painted with a broad brush of negativity, and lots of new, if you know anything about politics, when there's any kind of a situation, emergency, a crisis, we're going to react somehow.
Right.
And lots of new rules and regulations were put into place. There was a whole new regulatory scheme put together for banks, and it was meant to attack those banks that had been bad actors during that time. But it, of course, filters down to small town banks like Flatwater Bank in Gothenburg, Nebraska. So I had to work very hard with the regulators. There was a period of time where the regulators were clearly on one page and the banking community was on another page. And there was a lot of angst with that. I spent the majority of my time following that crisis rebuilding and building bridges back with the regulators, the FDIC, the state departments of banking, the Federal Reserve. And I would suggest that now we have built a much stronger and more vibrant relationship long-term with the regulators.
Nice.
I remember when Sarbanes-Oxley came out.
Yeah.
Just look on your face.
Well, again, I remember being on a call with a very high-ranking political official that was trying to convince us at the ABA, this is not going to affect you as community banks. And I wanted to say, when pigs fly. I was more professional than that, than I would be sitting here. But those kind of, they truly believed that it was not going to affect community banks, but it does. And Nick, I think one of the outcomes of that for me was when I came back and got into the political arena, where you are a policymaker. It opened my eyes to, be really, really careful when you go down a path. And, you might be fixing one problem and creating 10 others.
There you go.
And
I mean,
it's a lot of that's probably got to be forward thinking. I'm sorry, AD. A lot of that's you got to be able to try to. The cliche phrase is play chess while everybody else is playing checkers, right? But a lot of it is, I would imagine, try to think 5 moves ahead and what's this going to affect long term rather than just the short term fix.
I think that's true. Now, where we have moved politically right now from what I would say the 2012-14 time of nonpartisanship and building relationships, we've moved more where parties have gone to their corner, left and right. And I would suggest the vast majority of us on issues are kind of in the middle. And what I really learned in the legislature is it's 49 free agents from different backgrounds, different geographies, and everybody brings their experiences and wants to do the right thing. I will tell you, I learned a lot more by listening to people that were different from me than by listening in my own silo.
Right.
And right now, I think we've got a lot of silo talk. People don't agree with you. They're just wrong. They're the enemy. And you just talk to people that are like you. And like I said, I learned a lot of things from people that were different from me.
Matt, 2 questions for you before we hop into the teammates conversation. NIL, has changed everything in collegiate sports. The whole landscape is different, but it's about recruiting, and it always has been, now even more so. My first question to you is, what would be the offers that you would share with others who are thinking about coming to do business in Nebraska? And I'm not necessarily saying the incentives like NIL as far as the financial aspect. Like, we have that new beautiful workout facility, the brand new track, the training room, state-of-the-art kitchen, etc. What would you say is some of the attractions that Nebraska has to bring businesses? And second question I would ask you is this: in over 5 decades of business, you've been around a lot of people. You've for me, from a distance and even up close, When I bring up the name Matt Williams, and when I think of leadership, you're one of those guys. Rich Herring would be one of those other guys who taught me a lot early on. My father-in-law, when I established my first banking account in business, when First National opened up kind of a la carte here in Lincoln.
Yep.
Rich taught me a lot along with you, and I watched how you treated people. I've never come across a person that says, yeah, man, he's a horrible leader. No, they say he lets you lead and he knows what he doesn't know. That's one thing that's come up over the years. But you've always treated people with decency and respect, and you've entrusted them with their talents. So with that being said, in Nebraska, we've been entrusted a lot of resources here as well. What would you say would be some recruiting points that Nebraska would have to outside businesses that wanted to put their stake in the ground here? And two, what would your advice be to young professionals? You came right out of law school, green behind the ears, and you weren't just taking over a business. This was decades and decades of legacy in your family, and all eyes were on you.
Well, that's a whole separate discussion that was, I will tell you, very difficult to work with at 24 years old, being placed in that position. But I look back now and very happy that my wife and I had a chance to raise our kids and doing all that. What I would tell you on the big business climate for Nebraska, times have changed. Mm-hmm. How we recruit and retain business in Nebraska is different today than it used to be. We could put out a sign that said cheap labor, cheap power, and adequate water. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people would bite on that and come to Nebraska. The landscape has changed. Those three things are still vitally important in the big picture, but we have to drill down deeper than that. We have the availability of public power in Nebraska, which I will tell you is one of the prime things that we have. But it's not just the availability or the price of power. It is the availability now. And we need to build more resources to accommodate high power users that want to come to our state and increase that. We have had to address workforce issues in our state. And when I talk about workforce or the lack of workforce, you get into discussions about housing, childcare, immigration. All three of those are major issues that cost employers and therefore employees the ability to work. Through the Nebraska Chamber and through the Nebraska Chamber Foundation, we are working on a series called Go Big Future right now that is addressing three major pillars that we think are the keys to the long-term survivability: workforce, technology, and energy. And when I talk about technology, we have nearly 3,000 manufacturing companies in Nebraska, some very, very small, some very, very large. And the technology that is changing that industry is really important. And it causes significant interruption, meaning we've got employees that need to upgrade their skills to be able to operate in this, which is long-term very positive because they get paid more, they have more job security. Really pleased. I was at a meeting yesterday where all 6 of our community colleges were there talking about their commitment to skills, micro-credentialing, things that will help a welder at Kawasaki, and a plant manager in Gothenburg to upgrade themselves. It comes back, though, why would somebody want to come here? I will tell you, you hit the nail on the head, AD, when you talked about the people. We have a business community that stretches across this state that really does understand the importance of people in their success and works hard to accommodate that. So I think there are significant assets that we offer to people that would want to come to Nebraska.
Matt, as busy as your schedule is, I'd be remiss not to mention this, of course, with all the different boards you've served on, positions you've held over the years, a family bank that goes back since 1902. Why teammates? Why get involved with teammates? Obviously, I mean, we know it's an awesome organization, but why is that important to you?
Well, I think any of us that have been around for a while have been successful because we've had a mentor. And I look at that. I can still remember one of my very first mentors at the University of Nebraska. I lockered next to Coach Osborne. Now, I was on the track team, and he was a grad assistant doing what he was doing. He was young. I was younger. But, there was something special about him then, and there is something special about him now. But what I learned with that is that it's mentors are important to me. And if that is the case, shouldn't I be a mentor to others when given that opportunity?
Absolutely.
And it's kind of the starfish philosophy, the grandfather walking on the beach and with his grandson and throwing the starfish. You've heard the story 100 times, but it doesn't matter. It's really important to that starfish. We've seen so many kids saved with the Teammates program. So that's where I started getting involved. And then I had the opportunity to be on the board of directors of the statewide Teammates. I've been closely associated with them. And I'm really proud of the fact that the Nebraska Chamber has what I will call a unique partnership with Teammates, where we are out helping promote them.
Oh, wow.
The bottom line with Teammates is we need to recruit more mentors.
Yes.
That's where we are. The operation of Teammates is very successful. It's in a lot of schools. It's affecting a lot of young lives, but it can do more. But it can only do more if businesses support their employees going and taking that hour a week to go to the school, meet with a young person and change their lives. So that's why we're involved. And that's why I want to continue that as long as I'm around here is recognizing that, because you can just track one success story after another with Teammates.
Matt, real quick, I got a few rapid fire ones just really quickly, but also you being in the banking industry for so long, I've always believed that Teammates, I like to use financial instrument terms, there's a return on the investment. If you invest in that young man, that young woman's life, you're literally changing family trees. So you'll see a return on that hour a week, because it turns into years and decades in a family tree that's changed.
Absolutely.
Matt, a few rapid questions before you, and Nick's going to play the music, but I want to ask you these few rapid fire, if you would. Best leadership book you've ever read?
Good to Great.
Good to Great. Collins. Most underrated Nebraska town? I think you better say Gothenburg.
Matt, what's the first one that came to your mind?
Well, it had to be Gothenburg, except I'm not sure we're underrated.
You got a great golf course.
Great golf course.
Yes.
And again, I go back to, I was at a Gothenburg Chamber meeting a couple of weeks ago, and they asked me, now that you're traveling around the state seeing all this, what's the secret sauce of why some communities are successful more so than others? And I think they were looking for this is something special they're doing, or that. It isn't that. It's the people.
It's people.
It's the people that have stepped up to leadership roles, that are willing to work, willing to commit their time and effort to doing those things. In Gothenburg, I will tell you, we have been blessed. With significant leadership that's been willing to step up for years. And now some of us, the old guard, has had to transfer out, and we've got a young group that's taking over and doing that. And that's what it's all about. Mentoring.
Best Husker memory. Any sport.
Well, I was trying to think of something with you, but
you watch me on the sideline a
lot. Terrell Farley blowing up something in the middle.
Yes.
I mean, what a disruptor.
He was a disruptor. If you could sit down with one leader, past or present, living or dead, who would it be?
Boyd Epley.
I love it.
Boyd and I came to Nebraska the same year. He was a junior college transfer pole vaulter, and I was a freshman pole vaulter. And we both lived on the same floor of Schramm Hall. And I got to watch him put grease on his body and stand in front of the mirror and pose with trying to look stronger than anybody else. But watching him develop, I would love to sit down again with him and talk about those days and how he changed so many lives.
We need to make that happen.
I know we can.
There's a guy that texted in. My man said, I knew a banker from Chapel, Nebraska, who was my dad's best friend and fraternity brother, and I can't think of his name. And they lived across the street from my dad, but they're his parents. His parents own the bank in Chapel as well.
I'm drawing a blank on Chapel right now. Sorry about that.
You bet. Chapel's way out west.
Way west.
Way west. Yep. Folks, Matt Williams, president of Nebraska Chamber of Commerce, former Nebraska pole vaulter. Matt, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, brother. Let's definitely do it again.
Appreciate the opportunity to be here, Aiden.
Absolutely. Folks, we'll be back. We got a lot of sports to discuss on this Win the Mind Wednesday. We'll be right back.
When your business is ready for its next move, I'm here to help make it happen. I'm Corey Vandeweghe, Commercial Loan Officer at Midwest Bank on 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Lincoln is full of bold ideas and hardworking business owners, and I'm proud to support the people driving that progress. Whether you're launching something new or investing in growth, I'll work with you to find lending solutions that move your business forward. Swing in anytime. I'd love to hear what you're building. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Koppel is proud to be the highest rated GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln areas based on Google reviews. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on new Silverado and Sierra 1500 models. But hurry, this 0% financing offer won't last long. Visit us in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
New from Arbor Axe House comes Benny's Battle Barge, the mobile axe throwing adventure. Perfect for festivals, parties, fundraisers, and celebrations. Charter the barge at arbораxe.com or call Arbor Axe House at 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Lincoln is full of great golf courses in a state that is getting national recognition for exceptional golf. Friend Country Club is worth the drive, just 40 minutes from Lincoln and home to one of the state's most respected 9-hole courses. Enjoy their restaurant with popular items like a 14-ounce ribeye, 10-ounce sirloin, or chicken fried steak. Open Thursday through Saturday from 5:30 to 10 p.m.
Expand your horizons with a trip to Friend Country Club, just 40 minutes southwest of Lincoln. It's worth a visit.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Folks, we are back. A big shout out to our teammate, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected rep since 1999, even though he's teased me about my turtleneck. Jack can help protect your home, your vehicle, even your family's future. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100 or visit Jack at one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or in Seward and talk with him and his great teammates. You know, I'm just going to give right now, Kenny, I love you. My big brother, Kenny Wilhite, former Nebraska corner, all Big 8 selection. But you know what? I'm tired of this dude, picking on me about toughen up.
Well, here's the thing. He texted us in the group chat last night. He texted me separately about you this morning.
Because
he's texting you separately about you.
You know why? Here's how this all started.
He's all over the place.
It started Friday.
Yep.
I just got back in town from Missouri, and I went to the gym that evening. Usually I don't go to the gym in the evenings, but I was there. Him and his beautiful bride were there, and he was talking about riding his bike. I said, that's cool, man. I was like, well, I got an e-bike. Oh, man, that's electricity. That's electricity. I'm like, I can switch the button.
Bad for the environment.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the guy from St. Louis is worried about the environment.
You're going after his hometown. Man.
Since when do the guys in St. Louis worry about the environment?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, Kenny's like...
Hey, says the man that's staying in the Ritz-Carlton in St. Louis. You stay in the Ritz in St. Louis.
Easy, that wasn't on my dime.
That's okay.
You should have seen the hotel yesterday in Houston.
What did I text you? I texted you. I texted our group chat. I was like, man, it looks like a pretty nice hotel, AD. I was like, that has double doors. That had 2 doors to open the room.
2 rooms. I was like, I got to be honest, dog. I didn't even go. I peeked my head in the other part of it. I'm like, man, I'm not going in there.
You opened both doors. Did you have to have 2 key cards, one for each door?
But
did you unlock it from your phone?
You know what's? Well, you can do that.
I know.
But you know what's funny to me? And I tell people this all the time. After a while, and people who travel a lot, you would get it. You don't even. It's another room after a while, man.
Yeah.
Because you're not home. Those amenities and things they have are nice. I got to be honest, man. I remember that. Have you seen that movie Flight with Denzel Washington?
No.
Swim, it was past my bedtime.
Okay.
Because I was watching the NBA game.
Sure. This is 2 nights ago.
Ordered 3 desserts. I'm going to show you. There was a tiramisu. There was a pint of vanilla ice cream. And there was a New York cheesesteak. I ate all of it, man. Went to sleep, was rubbing my belly with chocolate on it.
Oh,
black on black on black on black.
I was saying you probably didn't have that nice little white polo or pullover on. Big B says, AD, I button my polos to the top because I like the look.
Thank you, Big B. I do too. I like the look.
That's fine. I don't mind the look.
I'm going to get you one of these white ones.
I love the white one.
I like them. I appreciate it. Our friends at Perch Merch,
yes,
Beecham and Henry, they do a great job, man. So I appreciate you guys over there.
Yeah.
Swim, like I said, Houston was a great trip, man. Was for a company called Clover Health. Very aggressive company. Swim, basically what they've used a thing, they're embracing AI, and they've created a platform for their members. So basically it's health insurance for people that are 65 and plus. So instead of in traditional medical, it's a map. They're trying to piece all these pieces together, your medical history. With AI, they've created a GPS.
Okay.
So when they go into their providers, their doctors, they see the whole picture immediately.
Jeez.
Dude, it is sickening how quickly things are changing. As Matt talked about it, again, I want to thank Matt Williams. We want to thank Matt Williams for coming on the show. I've known Matt. Like I said, he gave me a shot years ago. Been very instrumental just helping me out, expand this business, etc. And it's swimming. It goes to how he talks about how you deal with change. Clover talked about that. Swim. As I was flying and just thinking, I can't shake this Sorsby deal.
Yeah, I know.
And you see now that
Isn't
we're
it
kind of
crazy?
discussing this a little bit. Swim. You got teams that are saying, we're not playing Texas Tech. Text line, I want to get
Nebraska's one of them.
Nebraska's one of them. And text line, I want you to chime in, 402-464-5685. What's your thoughts? If you're an AD, are you no longer scheduling games with Texas Tech? Do you think that's going too far? Do you think, hey, that's not our problem, that's their problem? Or do you think it's an absolutely horrible, despicable, you can see where I come from, precedent for collegiate sports?
I said this yesterday with Austin. We had a really in-depth conversation in the 9:00 hour yesterday on this conversation. I told him, I get that people want to make a stance and they also want to, frankly, be involved in the, hey, we are on this side of the fence. There's no discrepancy. There's no miscommunication. Everybody knows where Nebraska or Georgia stands, right?
Mm-hmm.
While that's important, a lot of this, though, AD, in my mind, is why are we such blaming Texas Tech so much, like the institution and the university?
Why?
Why?
Because they could have pulled the plug at any time and saying, you know what? No, son.
But we know what priorities are for college athletics.
You know what? I think
it's to win games.
I think Jay said it the best. The black shirt group text me another buddy. Jay says, win and sin.
Yeah, sure.
As long it doesn't matter. Win, sin, win games.
Because
and it's sickening. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
He nailed it. It's sickening because Texas Tech, regardless of what the judge said, perfect example, Swim. My dad said, I don't care what your coach's GPA is. My GPA at home, Texas Tech,
yeah,
you can't play if it's not up to this level. Texas Tech should have been like, it shouldn't even reach the courts. Son, you bet over 10,000 times, a few of them on your own team to win.
Yeah.
You can't be trusted. More importantly, throw the trust out of it. You have a problem. We care more about you as a person than your skills.
For sure.
That's the precedent. And unfortunately, right now, Swim, there is no line. There is no goalpost. There are no rules that will stick because by Texas Tech, throw the judge completely out of it. All right, throw him out of it. Now, him or her.
Yeah.
Texas Tech should have stood up. The parents should have stood up. I'm not talking about his parents, but Texas Tech, being the college parents, if you would, they should have stood up and said, wait a minute, you know what? We care more about you than the person, but you know what? They don't. There's nothing they can tell me that convince me otherwise by you not 2 games, Swim. Really?
But I get that. Here's the thing. We can't be naive and think that other university and their athletic departments are like saints.
What's that?
We can't sit here and act like the other 300 athletic departments are saints.
But they're not the ones where this is happening at.
They're the only ones.
So it's not about what about is
well,
because right now what you're kind of going to is, well, what about them? No, we're talking about Texas Tech.
Yeah, because they got found out publicly.
Yes, but does it happen other ways, other places?
I mean, they just don't get caught.
Listen, Nick, I'll say this. Me and you both know it's been happening for decades.
Yeah, in a lot of places.
We can go back to the Pony Express with Eric Dickinson and Fowler.
We can go all the way back to win. I mean, we can frankly go back to like the Bear Bryant days. I mean, like it happens, right? Like we can't. That's why I think I struggle at times of like taking and understanding why, you know, if Nebraska or Georgia or anybody, it doesn't. I mean, it's going to sound personal and like a cheap shot because it's Nebraska and their football stadium is up 2 blocks north of us right now. It's going to sound like a personal shot. It's not. I would say this about every institution is like, how we can't be naive and sit like that they're up on this high horse when I'm sure there's a lot of just not necessarily illegal things going on, but just things that make you feel sticky and make you feel gross. And you just feel like, that doesn't feel right, but we're going to do it anyway because everybody else does it. I just like, once again, do we expect any institution in the country? Sure. From a morality standpoint, yeah, it would be great for Texas Tech or for a for-profit or excuse me, a business entity to sit there and say, you know what, we care about you as a person. But we know what people care about. We care about the bottom line. And I'm not saying it's right, but like take Texas Tech's name out of it. It could be Texas Tech. It could be Georgia. It could be Miami. It could be Alabama. We really expect, knowing what we know and how those people in those business offices operate, that if the judge says, hey, this is legal, they're going to sit there and go, you know what? Look, it's allowed, but we're not going to allow it from a morality standpoint, because then we have a less likely of a chance to win games and make more money.
I want to talk more about this too on the side, man.
Sure.
Purdue history in that 10 o'clock. I want to bring, because there's a lot of
it doesn't make you feel good. No. We're in sync, AD, on the Texas Tech. It would have been great for humanity to stand up and say, look, man, there's more issues there's a deeper issue than just the sports betting side of it. But we can't be surprised.
At 10 swim, because you're spot on. I want to dig more into this, and I want to think about the long-term implications of this for Texas Tech. Because I think other schools are going to use it against them. Which we're already seeing that. I just want to get your perspective and the listeners' perspective on the long-term impact of this. And let me just ask you this. Do you think there'll be a 11:59 p.m. we're not going to let him play?
No.
I want to discuss it. Come back. We'll talk some history on this Win the Mind Wednesday.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
I feel like I'm getting robbed when I bet the finals on a sports book. Dude, delete that app. You need to be using Polymarket. Polymarket? Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sports book. You trade against other fans, not the house. That means more money for you and less for greedy sports books. Even during the finals? Especially during the finals. You can even trade on whether Trump or Chalamet will attend the games. No way. What's the catch? No catch. And it's available in all 50 states. Polymarket is so confident you'll never go back, they're giving you $50 free on your first trade. I'm deleting my sportsbook app. How do I get started?
Download Polymarket now and use promo code LAP for $50 free for your first trade. Stop letting sportsbooks steal from you. Download Polymarket and use promo code LAP for $50 free on your first trade. Use promo code LAP.
Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Planet Fitness has everything you need from warm up to wind down, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to bring a friend anytime, access any of our 2,800 plus clubs, or reset and recover in the Black Card Spa, we're ready to fuel your momentum and then some. Enjoy all the perks with the Planet Fitness Black Card. Join the club today for $1 down, $24.99 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends June 12th.
See club for details.
New from Arbor Axe House comes Benny's Battle Barge, the mobile axe throwing adventure. Perfect for festivals, parties, fundraisers, and celebrations. Charter the barge at arboraxe.com or call Arbor Axe House at 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Guys, if you're dealing with low back pain or trouble urinating, don't just live with it. These could be signs of treatable conditions. At Advanced Medical Imaging, their interventional radiologists specialize in minimally invasive procedures designed to relieve symptoms and improve your quality of life without major surgery. June is Men's Health Month. Take the step. Call Advanced Medical Imaging today to schedule a consult and find out what AMI can do for you.
Building a new home can be a challenge, a lot of big choices. With our Remington homes, we have designed 15 different floor plans that appeal to a wide range of people.
Bob Benish of talking about Remington Homes, which makes the home building process easier.
People really enjoy being able to go to our website, which is remingtonlincoln.com, pick a plan, pick a price point, go through and build it yourself. You have a lot of options, whether you want granite, painted trim, wood floors, more stone, all options with our Remington homes. People do not want to be married to their house payment. You're able to get what you really want in a home for a great price with very limited stress. And that's what Remington homes are all about.
Home building is easier with a Remington home from Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for their members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, the premier indoor golf experience.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
On this Win the Mind Wednesday. It's a beautiful day here in the capital city. Swimmer, my good friend, asked me to go play golf today at 2, Jackaroo, and I got way too much stuff going on. I'm going to play Friday, of course, at Lincoln High. Oh, excuse me, Lincoln High tournament, alumni tournament. So it'll be good to see DF and
Nice.
my Bernie.
Where's that at?
Crooked Creek, I believe, is where it's at.
Great shape.
Yeah. I haven't played out there since.
I was just talking to
me, Jake, and Jay Foreman played out there.
So it was a couple weeks ago. I was talking to Dan Whitney, and he was saying how good a shape Crooked Creek is in.
I'm excited to play it Friday, man. I haven't played in a while, so there was no way I could play. I could have done it, but not without peace. My mind would have been all over the place trying to get stuff done. Yeah, that's not fun golf, and I didn't want to, obviously do that to them. But Friday, and then I'm going to play with my boys, my sons. That happened last night. We lined that up. Good. I'm playing with them Saturday afternoon. So life is good, man. No complaints. No complaints. Folks, in Husker history, do you remember? I'm going back to Cali. Cali. I'm going back to Cali. No, I don't think so. Who sung that song, Swim? I'm going back to Cali.
I don't know.
Cali. And this is not fair because it's before your time. LL Cool J.
Okay, yeah. I know him well.
Cali.
Also, but is that also how it sounded though?
Yeah, he would say, I'm going back to Cali.
But
Cali.
See,
Cali.
I recognize the song and I know the song, but I just didn't think that that's how it sounded.
Yeah, I'm going back to Cali. Cali.
Okay, you say the same
Cali.
thing. Give me another line off of it.
Well, some of them I can't say on air.
Okay, well, there you go. Give me another line off of it.
Yeah,
right.
Beep.
Yeah, everybody's like, where'd the radio go? Because we got a 10-second dump button going on right now.
Well, Biggie had his too. Biggie had the one later on, but the original one
Okay,
back,
see, I think maybe I know about
going
Biggie.
back to Cali. That Biggie's was that version. LL Cool J's was I'm going back.
You've already done it. Yeah. You've already done it about 7 times. Okay.
Yeah, so unknown texter 1069. Yeah, Biggie had his. I would say Biggie's was better too because it was a little more. Yeah, I would agree with that. Unknown texter 1069. Well, Nebraska was going back to Cali quite a bit because remember in 2016, a decade ago, the Cali, Nebraska movement.
Just Cali, Nebraska.
Well, Cali, Nebraska. You put your hand like this, like you were on the dice table going, no, don't take those.
No, I was just saying just Cali, Nebraska.
And it was Cali, Nebraska. So,
no, there's no
Cali, Nebraska.
Yeah, there it is.
Cali, Nebraska. Regardless, it was crap. It didn't work. So regardless of what we call it right now, there was something else I like to call it. So what did you think about that whole experiment?
Well, let's think about some of the names.
Tristan Gebbia. Keyshawn John. Okay, you correct me one more time. I'm gonna hit you in your neck.
Tristan Gebbia. Sorry that I corrected you on Nebraska football quarterback's name.
Kalajime. No, Keyshawn Johnson Jr.
Yep.
Darnay Holmes was another one.
He was a prospect.
Yeah. Tajon Lindsay was one.
Tajon Lindsay.
Yep. Who was another one?
Brendan Radley Hiles.
Yeah, he was another one. Nate, is it Nate Dogg Tilford? Is it Nate Dogg? Can I call him Nate Dogg?
No, you cannot.
Nathan, so tell me about that whole deal. What do you think about that?
Well, I see one of my favorite activities to do just for Nebraska football. And we might have to come back and do this. Is
not one of them panned out here.
Well, you're right. There was a couple of reasons why, right? Like, let's not forget, like Keyshawn Johnson had some off the field stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here is
Thomas said, "Throw chop as soon as possible."
Why? Because I'm being factual.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to say Tristan Gebbia's name correctly. Anyway, no, it was wild because Nebraska out of California, in those years, they had 11 different prospects. It was unbelievable. I just remember who was there was the guy from Yoakum, Texas as well, Joshua Moore. Like people might remember that wide receiver, Joshua Moore. It probably wasn't part of the Cali Nebraska movement, but Joshua Moore was a guy that had like 53 offers from the state of Texas. Nebraska eventually they got his commitment, and then unfortunately he ended up going to Texas. I believe is that where it was. We'll have to come back because we're up against the clock though.
Mississippi Mud Dog, you talk about if you're talking about, first of all, good morning to you, Mississippi Mud Dog. If you're talking about Brendan Radley Hiles,
yeah,
he was a 4-star corner from Calabasas High School.
Yeah, he was from Calabasas
because I seen
he then transferred to IMG.
Yeah, and the only reason why I know that Mississippi Mud Dog. Only reason why I know that because I spoke at that high school and his name was all over that place before he transferred out to IMG. And the weight room at Calabasas swim is because there's all sorts of celebrities, kids that go there.
Yeah.
So that weight room was ridiculous, man. It was
no. Brendan Radley Hiles was at Calabasas before he transferred to IMG. Yep.
Yeah, there were some studs in that joker, man. I remember doing like
because I believe he was at Calabasas when he committed to the Huskers. He then decommitted on Halloween night when Mike Riley's last season.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about it when we come back, folks. We're going to talk more about the Sorsby deal. Also talk about the NBA because San Antonio, they did the dang thing Monday night. Can they do it again tonight? And psychologically, where does that go? Also some Husker news. We'll talk about that as well. In the portal, who's gone, who's out, who's staying in Nebraska baseball. So just kind of a hodgepodge of things to discuss when we come back. It's The Drive. You'll make a lot of money.
The Nebraska Lottery presents horse interpreter Robert Saddlethorn.
This horse just said, enter the pony payout promotion.
He added that until July 28th, when you enter non-winning pony payout scratch tickets online, you could win a new red sports car.
Now what did he say?
He asked if he was getting a talent fee for this.
Pony payout top prize odds 1 in 120,000.
New from Arbor Axe House comes Benny's Battle Barge, the mobile axe throwing adventure. Perfect for festivals, parties, fundraisers, and celebrations. Charter the barge at arboraxe.com or call Arbor Axe House at 402-802-9696. Arbor Axe House at the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for their members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, the premier indoor golf experience.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2% for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
Is your technology built for where you are or for where you're going? Can your current technology support future growth? To break through that invisible ceiling, you need executive-level strategic technology advising. Moser can help your business grow appropriately and efficiently, giving you the ability to turn your tech stack from a cost center into a growth engine. Visit moserit.com/theticket. That's moserit.com/THETICKET to learn more.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be breezy and hot with a high near 94. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely, a low around 66. And tomorrow, a chance of showers in the morning. The decreasing clouds will be breezy and cooler, a high near 82. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, where your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Ostrander. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good.
It's on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is the Drive Hour 2 of the show. Nick Sainert alongside Aaron Davis. As always, you can reach out to us, 402-464-5685 on the Honda Lincoln Hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, both open for you guys the entire show. Plenty of stuff to break down here in the 10 o'clock hour, as well as you can always reach out to us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Cable Channel 961, places for you guys to visually see the show. Got a lot of stuff to get to in the 10 o'clock hour. We will get back onto the Nebraska football side of things in a moment, talk a little Nebraska baseball as well. NBA Finals Game 4 tonight. Can we see both teams win both games on the road? We'll find out tonight as the Spurs will go to try and even up the series in New York at MSG. There, Rudy's got his Victor Wembanyama jersey on in the producing room. So you know who Rudy is cheering for. However, here's what I would say. As we to get through some of those texts on the Calabrasca movement that were there in the last segment there. Austin Hansen brings up Javon McQuitty. Javon actually wrapped up his collegiate experience at South Dakota, if I remember correctly. And then he actually came back to Lincoln and was involved in the Lincoln youth football scene for a little bit. And so Javon McQuitty was the former Husker wide receiver, didn't necessarily pan out, got some injuries as well, but just ultimately did not end up having a very successful career here in Lincoln. But yeah, you go back to some of those, and there was so much flash. And I mean, just the Mike Riley time of recruiting, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to go off of memory here. Right, like Keith Williams was Nebraska's wide receivers coach, and he had the connection to a ton of those professional guys, and was training with those guys here in Lincoln at times. But ultimately, it was really, really special because I remember tracking. I mean, that was back when I kind of got into this business. I was heavy into the recruiting side of things. I was locked in more so than I am now because, frankly, it's hard to follow right now because there's so much fluidity. There always has been, but with it being as highly reported and there's so much attention on it, it's difficult at times to pay incredibly close attention to it. However, when you look at the recruiting, back then of when Mike Riley was the head coach and you had some of your assistants that were recruiters, people will remember they actually brought in at one point. There was a defensive backs coach, Dante Williams, who Nebraska was able to bring in. I want to say from Arizona. The University of Arizona had a lot of West Coast connections. Ended up leaving. He was at one point the interim defensive coordinator interim head coach, at USC after they fired Clay Helton. But now I want to say Dante Williams is at Georgia.
He is at Georgia.
Mm-hmm. So Anyway, yeah, I mean, that was a high-level recruiter on Nebraska staff back then that had a lot of connections to these guys. And there was a lot of flashy names, like TJ Pledger was visiting, who was a highly touted running back in the prospect pool, AD. And then obviously the big one was Micah Parsons at the time. I mean, Micah Parsons was on campus multiple times.
Okay. Seriously, just that name and Nebraska together, is just mind blowing to think that he was here doing that. And he was here.
Yeah, I know. Well, and it was funny. I speaking of the Scoresby stuff, it was really interesting to think about where recruiting and just college athletics is nowadays. Because you'll remember that, I mean, back during Micah Parsons' recruitment, that when he went and visited Ohio State self-reported recruiting violations, and they had to stop recruiting Micah Parsons. What?
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Just see ref's text.
No, I did not see ref's text.
What's wrong? The strain. Remember the strain?
Oh yeah, from Bob Diaco. Yeah. But no.
wrong with you, dog?
So Micah Parsons went on a recruiting visit, on an official visit to Ohio State, and College Game Day was there, and he allowed him to like walk on set of the College Game Day operations, and it was a recruiting violation. And Ohio State essentially had to self-report that they committed recruiting violations in the recruitment of Micah Parsons, and they had to stop recruiting Micah Parsons. I mean, it was a crazy time. That will never happen now. Why? Because you never know what a recruiting violation is nowadays. And even if he did, you just find a judge to say it's fine.
Okay.
Not really, but I mean,
But
now you would.
Swim, what you just said, it's not far-fetched anymore.
Yeah.
This is some of the collateral damage of what took place in Lubbock. Because now, what's out of bounds? What's out of bounds anymore? There are no lines, Swim. There are lines in a manual only, but when it comes to enforcing them, it's wolf tickets.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's funny.
I digress.
Darren Canopy, I mean, he's on to something here. He says it sounds like the same kind of Kool-Aid from the group that's transferring to Millard South High School. That's dangerous. It's a dangerous game to play, right? And the Husker fans are always going to lean and try to hold on to the the potential of things, right? But and Huskers P says this, and I agree with Huskers P. He says, "Wow, they can recruit at Nebraska now. Can they please develop some kids?"
That part, Huskers P.
Right, absolutely.
That Swim. What Huskers P has said, and what we have said a number of times in the Texters and Husker P, you bring it up again, which is spot on. You have to develop.
Well, I mean,
now people will say this.
Yeah.
You don't have time to develop anymore. Where other schools have figured it out.
Well, I think this is not just like a college football discussion either. I mean, we can talk as we're gonna dive into the college baseball portal here in a couple of minutes, and it's a big weekend, like in college baseball anyway, because College World Series is going on. Like, don't think for a minute that dudes on Troy right now are sitting there going, "I'm about to be on the biggest stage of college baseball. I have 2 or 3 years of eligibility remaining. This is where I shine.
Showcase.
This is where I shine right now."
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, we can't be naive in that department either. But for the most part, it's crazy because think about the early years of Fred Hoiberg. Like, it's not just a football discussion. You can think about the early years of Fred Hoiberg and go back to that staff. And there were more issues than just one. Like, you can't just point to one North Star and say that's the reason it didn't work and why they had 7 wins in that season. But I think it's a combination of multiple things. Well, then Fred Hoiberg had to pivot, whether that's because of his choice or because he was told to. He had to pivot, and he recognized that. And now he's found a stable coaching staff that wants to be here, has stuck around. And then guess what? When Adam Howard did decide to move on to NC State last year and join Will Wade's staff, Nebraska was able to pivot, and they were able to bring in Pat Monahan. And like, so it's when you find a good core of, when we're talking coaching staff, right? And maybe it's a little more difficult in football than it is in baseball because there's so many more bodies, not only more coaching bodies, but players as well on your roster. once you find it, and it starts with the coordinators, I suppose, right? It starts with the coordinators, and you can somewhat say, like Nebraska hiring Rob Orich this year, like it has to be successful because you flopped bad. You flopped bad last year, just promoting from within on John Butler. It flopped bad. And you have to get those things right. It starts with your core. Find a stable core that wants to be here and that can do their job successfully. Because if you're not, then it's not going to trickle down. We can talk about players all we want. And it's important to get good players in, AD.
Swim, what you just said, it's so true. It cuts deep because you can't have, well, we've had it before, but because of everything that's riding on this, you can't have two gaffes as coordinators back to back. You just can't. I mean, you absolutely cannot.
When you guys were growing up, I mean, this is my thing when I grew up, but like, did you ever do those cup stacks?
Mm-hmm.
The cup stacking?
Mm-hmm.
I would look at this like as a cup stack, right? Like where, and everybody can do think about it, where it's built up into this tower and then you just go side by side and you just work your way to the middle. Like if you don't successfully stack at the top, right? Head coach, right? The next two cups are the coordinators. Then you can talk primary position coaches, and you can, go down the tree, right? It's not a hard.
If you don't stack right at the bottom.
If you well, no, I'm saying if you can't hire well at the bottom,
right?
But also if to use the cup stacking analogy, if you don't stack cups 1, 2, and 3, how can you expect to stack cups 7, 8, 9, 10? You can't. Why? Because the whole thing will fall down. If cup 1 doesn't stack onto cup 2, then you're screwed. And because then it's just going to create consistent disconnect the entire way down. And so I think it's just one of those things of where you have to find a good core that's stable. And to use the Nebraska basketball analogy as well, again, to use that scenario here, because Nebraska has had a successful couple of seasons and they've consistently built forward. They found Nate Lenzer. They found Ernie Ziegler. Luca Virgilio is a guy that's been here the entire time, but has had to pivot in maybe the off the floor roles. Right now, he's the GM of this whole thing. And then you've had guys that have come up through the program, like Peyton Borders, who is a GA and now is recruiting coordinator. And like you've had a little bit of mix of both, to where you've had guys that have been here for the entirety of Fred Hoiberg's tenure, but you've also had to bring in new bodies as well. You look at Nebraska football, outside, Tony White has been the one coach that has left for another job. Like in terms of a high power job.
You mean as far as a coordinator position?
Yeah, like as a coordinator, taking another job. Like, sure, has Nebraska lost lower level assistants to other landing spots?
But
yes.
As far as a coordinator, he's the one I can think of that left and made a vertical move rather than no, it was still a lateral move because he was still a coordinator to coordinator.
Still coordinator to coordinator.
Still coordinator to coordinator, but
basically,
and we could be missing somebody.
But basically, I'm saying wasn't fired, right? Like,
well, Swim, you
or reassigned if we're gonna have the conversation about Satterfield.
Well, here's the deal. You talked about the foundational pieces, man, and your coordinators. And I'm going to go to the text line, too, because this kind of galvanized the point. Scaper, you're spot on. And good morning to you, brother. I think it all starts with both offensive and defensive lines based on the interior lines. If they play better, everybody will play better. You can only develop somebody so well until their two-step drop defense is their face. And the offensive linemen on the other side are getting to the linebackers right away. I'm excited about this year. Line play will determine a lot, and it will. Swim, one thing that helps determine that line play, like you mentioned, is like Husker P mentioned, development. And here's the reality, Swim. Anytime you build, it goes to old Bible parable, which is just as relevant today as they always will be. There was the wise builder and the foolish one. The wise one built his house on rock. So when the storms came, NIL, recruiting, we can go on and on, they beat up against it, but it still held its own. You look at a Georgia, you look at a Indiana, even look at a Miami as far as that goes. You look at a USC. I know Lincoln Riley's, he's kind of struggling a little bit, but historically, you look at what's going on with Bama. New coach, he's had some storms, but he's built it solidly with solid assistants, solid recruiting classes. When you build it on sand, unproven coaches, culture, you say it's one way, but it's actually performing another. You're going to continue to have these things happen. Whether Nebraska's begin to build it on rocks right now with these two hires, we're going to see. I do like the foundational pieces we put in place as far as the O-line, some of those recruits that we've gotten. But Swim, I can only speak for myself. No storms have come yet. It's easy to win we're in the summertime and the spring. The storms come in the fall, and it's like Ted Gilmore, former Nebraska receivers coach, always told me when he got a new job or a new coach, he goes, AD, everything is fine when they sign. You find out when the bullets of the season start flying if things work out or not. That's when the storms come. You find out what your program. You find out the moxie of your players. You find out the DNA of your coaches. You find out how they adjust on the fly. Yeah. When it's 3rd down and 3 and you need a first down or a stop. That's when you find out. So all this stuff is good right now, Swim. It's cool. But I'm waiting to see what it looks like on Saturdays.
I mean, and there are pieces that we're excited about. Like I am excited about some of the coaching pieces as we continue to talk about that side of it. I'm intrigued, I would say, to see what Rob Orich can do with this defense. He's going to have his hands full. I mean, I remember sitting up there in the bowl game in December in Vegas, and I think I said it in the post-game video that Jake and I recorded from the press box in the Raiders Stadium at Allegiant last year, where I just said, you know what, like it's pretty indicative that because I think that they had already fired John Butler at that time. It all jumbles together, but I said something along the lines of or Rob Orich. Because Rob Orich was there. He was there not coaching, but he was there on the sidelines. I said it's pretty indicative of how full Rob Orich's hands are going to be next year. Mm-hmm. And so like that's I think a lot of Husker fans would agree that if you had to pick one side of the ball that you're more concerned about than the other, or that maybe there's just more unproven and unknown answers, on one side of the ball, I think you would lean towards the defense. I think you would, you lean it and go, okay, how does Nebraska, replace a couple of pieces up on that defensive line? How do they replace some of the secondary, that now you've moved on from? You have new bodies, right? Like, it'll be interesting to see what Rob Orich's defense looks like. What can Roy Manning do with the edge guys? Corey Brown do with the interior defensive line guys? Because it's prove it mode. Like, it's great that it's year one. And sure, they're going to get the ample time that they need, right, to develop and to stick around if they want to. However, like, once again, this is now what, year four of Matt Rule? I get that it's your first time or first year, but it's still his fourth.
It's his fourth,
and it's time to win.
Absolutely, and I think some of these coaches these guys he brought in have been in this world long enough to know that although it's their first year, time is, like I said, this seat is getting warm. It's time to produce. So if you left a place where you were pretty secure, well, first of all, there's not a lot of security anywhere, but if you're doing decently well, your fan base is happy. These coaches, when they came in here, they know this is a fishbowl, and this is a fan base that is foaming at the mouth for some light, for some improvement. And not 6-6, not 7-6, not winning one more game a year and winning one less a year and saying, hey, we've made progress. Yeah, it's a progress, but it's like the example I gave last week. Yeah, I didn't drive at 290 this time down the fairway. I drove at 291. Well, who freaking cares?
Yeah.
Did you par? Did you birdie? Did you eagle? Because I'm sick of these bogeys that you're getting and saying, hey, well, at least we didn't double. At least we didn't have to pick up.
At least I didn't stroke out.
Yeah, at least I didn't stroke out. No, that not with the resources that we have. So I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again, but I'm simply saying this. I am going to give these coaches the benefit of the doubt, and meaning this is their first year. I get that. But overall, it's not the head guy's first year, and that's just reality. It's time to produce.
John in Cortland, how about this? He says, good morning from Beatrice, gents. He said, as for the team, find out when they get to the field. Kool-Aid free. It's the last shot for the head man. Results do count. Better than 7. I'm out. Whew. I mean, John Cortland, thanks for listening as always.
It's the truth, man.
It is.
It's the truth. And John Cortland, I'm telling you, my level of frustration when I hear, and this is just me, to each their own. Again, you are entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. I think it's insane to be satisfied with 6 or 7 wins with the resources we have available. I just think it's insane.
I will also add in there. I think the farther we get removed from the last 3 or 4 games of the season last year, frankly, November 1st, when they played USC, and everything happened on the field, and Dylan gets hurt, and Matt Rule and the whole Penn State situation, and then the extension, and then you get slaughtered physically by Penn State. You get slaughtered by
slaughtered by Minnesota,
right? Utah as well. But yeah, sure, yes, exactly.
That's the one that was just unacceptable on every
so I think so we'll start there. So we'll start with the Minnesota game. I think the farther we get removed from it naturally, right? And emotion starts to exit our body in those moments.
It's still there.
Hold on. I think that we forget how uncomfortable it got as quick as it did. I mean, we get a great view from behind this microphone and being able to gather the opinions of the fans and the feelings of a lot of Husker fans. It got very uncomfortable very quickly in that last month of the season last year. This season, if not to say if Nebraska loses to Ohio, North Dakota, or Bowling Green, because I don't think they will, right? But if there's not promise, or if there's not, I'm gonna use the word domination physically, right? If there's not a glimpse of that, things are gonna get really uncomfortable very, very quick here. And that's just where, that was one thing that I picked up even off the field last year. Sure, it was bad on the field, but things and when you can feel the pulse of Husker Nation easily when you're in those buildings, and it was uncomfortable a lot of times. Let's get this text from Colgan J in before we get to break. Honest truth, guys, I'm paying more attention to the basketball team and the baseball team and transfers and coaching changes than I am in regards to football. I'm not really paying that much attention nor listening to what's being said.
Whew. And you know what, Colgan J, CJ? I don't blame you.
No, definitely not.
Because fans want to see results. You're tired of the wolf tickets. You're tired of the underperformance. The most frustrating game for me last year wasn't even the Iowa game. It was Minnesota. A team that, so I'm not even going to go in the rabbit hole, but you just can't have that. And so I'm going to be honest with you, man. There is not a game on our schedule that I'm comfortable with. That's just me.
I would say North Dakota.
I am not comfortable with a single game on our schedule based on what I saw.
Please be comfortable with North Dakota.
I am not comfortable.
You should be comfortable with North Dakota.
No, I am not. I'm not, Swim. I'm just not. Until I see it.
North Dakota money line? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Please don't. It was just a Brennan Sorsby joke.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side, and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, Nebraska sports fans. This summer, professional tennis returns to Lincoln. Watch rising stars of the ATP Tour compete for over $100,000 in prize money for the 2026 Lincoln Challenger from July 12th to the 19th at the Sid and Hazel Dillon Tennis Center. Witness top tennis pros compete right here in Lincoln and experience tennis close-up like never before. To purchase tickets or to sign up for volunteer opportunities, please visit www.lincolnchallenger.com. Not just a stop, a stage. Lincoln Challenger 2026.
Looking for the right utility tractor for your acreage? Find it at Landmark Implement. Shop our selection of used John Deere compact tractors from 1 through 5 series with the power and versatility to track mowing, yard work, snow removal, and more. For a limited time, get 2.9% financing for 36 months, followed by 6.2 for 24 months with approved credit. We've got the right fit for your property and your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or visit us online at landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. We're back, Slim. You know, Slim, I'm going to continue on this before we hop into baseball and the NBA real quick. IQ Crew, what's up, man? I got to read this first. So I trust you, but I still got to read it. My computer's taking the time to come up here.
One-eyed Ray says, if we lose, I'm blaming Nick. Here's this. Okay, I want to get to IQ Cruz because this is good.
Yep.
He says, hey, Swim, Hoiberg and Rule statistically are both 500 coaches in Nebraska. You have stated in the past that because of Hoiberg's success at the pivot point, that you've separated the first couple of seasons when looking at basketball history with Hoiberg. That is true. Just for clarification there, I said that there, because you're right, IQ Crew, that there's been moments where if you look at the way that Nebraska, frankly, constructed their roster in the first couple of seasons, there were differences. I also look at the way that they started using kind of a point forward type of thing with, and then you bring in the right type of mentality with guys like Derek Walker and Emmanuel Bandamel and those types of leaders there. I look at it and when you're talking about expectations, I'll say this. When you're talking about expectations, recency and how you handle and how you operate, I think does matter, right? Like if you're looking at a coach that's been at a place for 15 years, you're going to expect in year 16 to build off of year 15. You're not going to expect in year 16 to build off of year 1, if that makes sense. And IQ Crew, I know you're not saying that either. He says, if Rob Orich is Nebraska football's Nate Lenzer, and this off season is potentially Rule's pivot point, what does Rule have to do moving forward in order for you to separate the first part of his tenure at Nebraska? I would say you need to build consistent success. Now that might be subjective. That might be a subjective answer, but I would say that the answer in basketball, if you asked us 5 years ago, would be subjective. For Fred Hoiberg, what did that look like? It was consecutive 20-win seasons. It was finding an identity and continuing to recruit to that identity. It was finding stability in your entire coaching staff to where if you had to move on from one, or if a player moved on, it didn't feel like the whole house of cards fell down in front of you. And so the equivalent then, I guess, for that would be for Matt Rule, it's not just, to use basketball's analogy, AD, it would not be just to make the tournament. It would be to win a tournament game. It would be for Nebraska football to show up against the teams that, frankly, the last 10 years you've tried to compare yourself to and just naturally think you're better than the Minnesotas, the Iowas, the Wisconsins. It wasn't like going into last year, Nebraska football wasn't on that trajectory. It was that they failed last year. They didn't show up against Minnesota. They allowed off the field Penn State stuff to potentially derail their season. They allowed the excuse that Nebraska needed more NIL money to, frankly, distract them from times on the field last year. They got beat up physically against Iowa. You looked unprepared against Utah. Like there were a lot of reasons why I think last year felt like a little bit of a step in the wrong direction after, yes, Matt Rule did take them to a bowl game and did win in a bowl game against Boston College. And you went into a crappy environment at the Pinstripe Bowl in New York and you were able to win. Yeah, there was a step in the right direction, but it didn't feel like you took another step last year. And I think Husker fans, rightfully so, when they look at a program and they assess success or failure, they're looking at steps in the right direction.
Well said. Well said. I can sum up my concern in one word: trust. I don't trust this team. They're unpredictable.
And Frank, and I don't want to speak for you, AD, so correct me if I'm wrong. Beating North Dakota and Ohio and Bowling Green that's not going to earn your trust as much as it would against the Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I have to see
so then you have to wait until October.
I'm going to have to wait until October because I've seen this movie before. Husker fans have seen this movie before, but even with our schedule coming up, like I said, Swim, I am just to the point you have to see consistency. When someone tells you, I'm not going to do it again, I'm not going to do it again, well, they might not do it the first time, maybe the second time. I want to see how they do it a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. I want to see consistency. And Nebraska has to do that. And that's just the bottom line. I mean, that's just called human nature. If you have underperformed in any year, throw football out of it, throw sports out of it, and something else, a company, there's a certain business here, Swim, that I stopped using years ago. And I used to use them a lot, and I'm not going to mention the name, but they became unpredictable, and I put a lot of stock into this organization, and they let me down. Mm-hmm. And I'll never trust them again. I'll never use them again.
It's so interesting. I mean, because we're getting texts right now. Rubber Duck from LinkedIn says this: I just want to see Nebraska not get blown out by good teams, but be competitive. And I'm not going to sit here and try to tell people how to be a fan. I want higher expectations though for us as Nebraska fans. I don't want I get that that's where it's at now, right? But for all the investment, I'm not even talking financially, the mental investment, the passionate investment that Nebraska fans make into these programs, it should be better. The expectation should be better than just not wanting to see them get blown out.
Swim, you know what? And I 100% agree with you, because I'm going to ask you this. Now that Nebraska is competing and winning recruiting battles against those teams who have won national championships or in the hunt for them, you should start beating those teams.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Because that should just continue to elevate.
Yeah,
the
that
ceiling.
should continue to elevate.
Yeah.
So yeah, but there's a price, if you would,
mm-hmm.
and there's an expectation that's attached to you getting these guys committed and eventually signed here. So if you're competing with these schools, because see, that's why I never got involved with the stars thing. Yeah, those good indicators, give or take. But when you have guys that are choosing Nebraska and opting in Nebraska over those schools who have traditionally been beating you, you better start beating those schools, not just hanging with them and losing by, we lost by 3. The hell with that.
Yeah.
You got to start beating those teams.
That's just where it's indicative.
There's an expectations that are there now. If you're bringing these big bulldozers, these big land movers that we're signing right now,
mm-hmm.
the skills guys, we were always consistently kind of getting those guys. But now you have the protection and maybe building something in the trenches. You better start beating those teams to where they also were getting offers from. I don't want to just be hanging with them. Oh, shucks, it was a close one. I'm not knocking the Texas by any stretch.
Yeah.
No, you should start beating those teams.
And it's really interesting because I genuinely do appreciate that. I mean, the thought out text from IQ Crew once again.
I love
the question,
but
right?
I want to beat them.
Is you look at, I mean, there's so many, look at it like an onion, obviously, and like the layers of it, right? Is I also do respect now Nebraska basketball has, in comparison to the blue bloods of the world, right, has like an ounce of postseason success, the Crown tournament, and then, Sweet 16. That feels like climbing over the mountaintop for Nebraska, which is great. And we need to celebrate it that way, rightfully so. However, what I respect now more, sure, did Nebraska basketball have, I don't want to say a relatively easy non-con slate last year? Maybe, right? They had teams, West Georgia, and they had FAU that came in, and they played against, New Mexico. New Mexico might have been one of their better non-con games. Oklahoma was fine. They were a Crown tournament team, but like Creighton had a down year, right? And that's out of Nebraska's control. Kansas State had a bad year, right? That's out of Nebraska's control. But what's Nebraska basketball doing right now? And this is where I will say I respect the crap out of them right now. Fred Hoiberg got behind the microphone a week and a half ago and said, look, right now we're trying to schedule games against high major or high conference, power conference teams, but it's hard. Teams don't want to play those types of games right now. Sure, Nebraska might have needed some of those easier games to get to this point, but they don't want to continue to just play those easy games and just have, buy games, if you will. And that's why, like I said, I think it was last week with you, AD, when we were talking about scheduling, right? Maybe I was talking to Bach about it. Yeah, because we were talking about how Texas Tech, this was before the Scoresby stuff, was not running from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Texas Tech was offering to pay Texas's buyout, and Texas didn't want them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know what? I respect the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to play some of the more notable and power conference opponents. Don't run. And it just feels like right now Nebraska football with their non-con slates that are coming up, and I get that a lot of other programs do it. This is not just a Nebraska issue.
You look at the Tennessee game they pulled
exactly.
out last
But I'm saying, like, I get, like, Indiana's doing it too. Well, you know what Indiana's doing? They're winning national titles.
Yeah.
They're winning Big Ten titles. And frankly, you can do whatever you want if you're delivering in those types of expectations. But when you're not delivering in games against Minnesota, that's where you start to say, man, this is really unfortunate that Nebraska's non-con slate just isn't that sexy.
Kip, 2 words you said. Good morning, Kip. 2 words. Minnesota and Iowa. It's been pure out coaching for 8 years or more. And I'd have to agree with you. And Rubber Duck, totally feel you, big dog. He goes, I'm not saying that's all I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just tired of walking into a game, watching the first 2 quarters and turning the TV off because it sucks to watch. And Rubber Duck, I'm with you, man. It's just hard to. It's just hard to stomach, man. Like I said, there's swim to your point, original point. There is a lot of expectations this year, and I know we tend to say this each year, just as fans. But with everything that happened this past year, the extension, the way that Nebraska lost those last 3, you go back to the just to the head scratcher, what was that in Minnesota, the new hires, the recruits that they brought in. There's a lot of expectation this year with this regime, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Folks, we come back. AD Attitude Adjustment. It's The Drive.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Hi, Charlie Stone again, and Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln will be joining me shortly to talk about a milestone accomplishment at Honda of Lincoln. But before I talk to Andy, I'd like to add a comment of my own. I know you have a lot of choices when buying a new or pre-owned vehicle. It was just announced that Honda of Lincoln is once again the winner for the Lincoln's Choice Award for new car dealers. It's not easy to win that award because it's all based on the highest level of customer satisfaction. I think Honda of Lincoln really is your best choice. Now let's talk to Andy.
Thanks, Charlie, and thanks for your kind words.
Andy, tell us what it takes to win an award like this.
Will do, Charlie. It's about being customer-focused. Our sales and service team have been with us for a long time, and every day, all they focus on is a 100% customer satisfaction. It's really that simple.
Maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Is your technology built for where you are or for where you're going? Can your current technology support future growth? To break through that invisible ceiling, you need executive-level strategic technology advising. Moser can help your business grow appropriately and efficiently, giving you the ability to turn your tech stack from a cost center into a growth engine. Visit moserit.com/theticket. That's moserit.com/theticket to learn more.
Hi, Kendall Warnock here, owner of A1 Automotive. If you own a BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, or Mini, specialized service matters. Our team uses advanced diagnostic equipment, OE equipment, including factory-level software, to accurately diagnose and repair your vehicle. Dealer-level capabilities with hometown service. A1 Automotive, 1117 L Street. You can call us 402-477-4660.
When something breaks, you want someone you can trust to fix it right. Empire Repair is now open in Waverly and ready to serve our community with reliable auto repair and maintenance. From routine service to bigger repairs, our team is here to keep you on the road. Stop by Empire Repair in Waverly or call 402-786-2224 to schedule your service today. Empire Repair, proud to serve Waverly.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for their members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, the premier indoor golf experience.
This summer, Salt Dogs fans are making history at Haymarket Park. We're celebrating 25 seasons of grit, grins, heart, and hometown pride. Lincoln, you built this stadium. You named this team. And season after season, it's you, the fans, that keep us coming back for more. So let our thank you be our promise. The best is yet to come. Your local tradition plays on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's get to some of these text messages here on our Sartor Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Nick Sainert, AD, with you as usual one final time on a Wednesday. Don't forget, we will be out at the College World Series Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this weekend next. So feel free to come on out, say what's up to us at the Blur Events tailgate, corner of 12th and Cass. Always going to be an incredible time. AD, let's get to some of these texts here.
You know what, Swim, real quick?
Yeah.
You know I've never been inside for a baseball game in there, and I've had tickets for years.
To the CWS?
I just never gone inside.
You've never been to the College World Series?
Never gone inside.
Oh, my goodness.
No. I take that back. I went in for half an inning, I believe. And then I was talking to some business clients, and then we ended up walking out.
That makes me really sad. I mean, I'm disappointed, but I'm really sad. I just bought tickets for Sunday night's game, the 6 p.m. game. Just bought tickets.
Yeah. I was First National had a suite in there.
Oh.
Yeah, this was
text line. It's not me doing it.
No,
I'm not
it's not.
it.
This is honest the truth, man. But you know what, Swim? I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna start doing it more though. But go ahead.
You should. But yeah, so whatever Sunday night's game is, a couple of us are going to it. All right, Big B says a tree needs wind to grow. It needs to be stressed and pushed around in order to build stronger fibers and withstand more pressure. You want to play better teams to get pressure to get better. 100%, Big B. Mississippi Mud Dog, I would love to read your text, but I cannot.
Mississippi Mud Dog. You know, it reminds me of his free off saying that Mississippi Mud Dog, right? Man.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
They still got time.
Tick, tick, tick.
Scaper says all we really wanted from Fred was one win within the tournament, period.
Okay, let me see.
We've gotten this question a couple of times.
Yeah.
It might be Frank Mason the third texting in. He says, what do you guys know about Frank Mason the third from Kansas back in the day? He was a good guard. He was fine.
Why? Give us some
why
context,
do we care about Frank Mason the third?
Give me some
background. He was good, though.
National Player of the Year, senior campaign, back in
So this texter is from Kansas because we can see the state that the phone number is from.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's just a big Jayhawk fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, maybe it's Frank Mason the third texting in.
It might be.
Frank, welcome to the show.
Is he with Sacramento still, the Kings? Because I know he got drafted by them.
He was for a while.
And I'm not sure where he's at right now, but he was a baller. He was a baller.
He says, big fan of the show, guys.
I appreciate
Austin texted us, says, I got a Frank Mason the third story. Come on in.
Yeah.
Austin, come on in.
Austin,
He's
come
got
tell
it.
us about the story.
All right, and then we'll get out of here.
He was, but you know what? Frank Mason was a baller, though.
He was
just kind
legit.
He was a
But,
grinder.
okay. So here's Austin. Austin's going to be joining me on the show on Friday when Monday when AD's gone. Yeah. Okay. Well, hello, Austin.
Hi, gents.
What's your Frank Mason the third story?
my Frank Mason the third story is freshman year of college. I was living in Sandoz, and
Great spot.
Yeah, indeed. And
Great dining hall.
Two of my buddies were living over in Able, and it was Champions Classic early in the fall, and got together. I'm a Duke fan. Wearing the hat. And my buddy's a Kansas fan.
I hate Duke, but I love that hat.
It's a nice hat. I like it too. And our other buddy's just kind of neutral in the middle, whatever. So we're in one of those like big study room, conference room things, whatever, watching the game. And there's a rap song out there. It's I think it's based off another one, but it's Bleep I'm Frank Mason.
Okay.
Praising him anyways. And so my buddy was playing that song all week. Oh, Kansas going to kick Duke's butt. And it was stuck in my head. Now Duke at this point had a freshman, Frank Jackson.
Yes, of course.
Frank Jackson hits a go-ahead free throw line jumper with like 5 seconds or something to go. In that conference room, I yell out, Bleep I'm Frank Jackson.
Austin. The texter says, I know that song.
Yeah, just for Bleep I'm Frank Mason to turn around and hit a game winner in my face.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
I'm glad that guy knows the song.
He knows that song.
Yep.
Hey, where's Frank Mason at now? Because he was with Sack for a while.
I think he was playing overseas for a while.
So he's gone?
Oh, he was still with us.
He's still with us.
He's not in the NBA.
What I mean, not gone, but he ain't playing
He's not in the
stateside.
NBA, no.
See, on South Street, we play pickleball on South Street. We just like, he's overseas, man. If you lose on the main court, that was the NBA. Then if you lost, you had to go play on the other court. You were playing. It was like, man, go play in Europe.
There you go. I love it.
That's awesome.
Folks, that's just going to serve as our AD attitude alignment. Don't go play in Europe. Keep your skills up.
Yeah, right? We need to name this texter somebody about like Frank Mason's biggest fan. That's what we're going to name you on the text line.
Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. One-on-one with DPs coming up next. Stick to the dial of 93.7 The Ticket all day long. We'll wrap it to tomorrow.
Go hog wild, Pit Barbecue.
The best barbecue deal in town is at Hog Wild. We're serving up a $5.99 meal deal that includes a one-meat sandwich, your favorite classic side and a drink, all for just $5.99. Craving brisket? Upgrade to our tender, slow-smoked beef brisket for only $1.50 more. Join us for lunch or dinner, or order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway, Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, it's Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Koppel is proud to be the highest rated GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln areas based on Google reviews. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on new Silverado and Sierra 1500 models. But hurry, the 0% financing offer won't last long. Visit us in Louisville or check us out online at koppelcars.com.
Green's Furnace and Plumbing has been servicing the southeast Nebraska area since 1921, specializing in HVAC systems, bathroom remodels, duct cleaning, backflow testing, and so much more. With a network of trained technicians ready to assist you, Green's Furnace and Plumbing is your source for dedicated commercial HVAC service for your business, building, or even your home, so it can run without all those unwanted interruptions. Learn more by visiting their website at callgreens.com or give them a call at 402-467-4900. 4444 today.
This summer, Salt Dogs fans are making history at Haymarket Park. We're celebrating 25 seasons of grit, grins, heart, and hometown pride. Lincoln, you built this stadium. You named this team. And season after season, it's you, the fans, that keep us coming back for more. So let our thank you be our promise. The best is yet to come. Your local tradition plays on. Get your tickets at saltdogs.com.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for their members. Whether it's a range session to get accurate club distances, 18 holes with some buddies, or a one-on-one lesson with Back Nine's PGA teaching professional, their top-of-the-line full-swing simulators are there to help you lower your score in perfect conditions. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street